Welcome to the debate. Imagine a household in rural Ethiopia. They've been deemed, too poor to afford a basic sanitary toilet, yet if you look up at their roof, you might actually see a satellite dish that costs them even more.
Right. It's a wild contrast.
Exactly. How does that happen? Today, we're exploring a central question drawn from a 2018 market-based sanitation program. Basically, in rural development, does perceived value matter more than absolute affordability? I argue that, perceived value is the true underlying driver of consumer adoption.
And I approach this a bit differently. While value undeniably drives human behavior, absolute affordability, like the literal limit of a family's wallet, remains the fundamental, inescapable constraint.
We often treat poverty like a strict accounting ledger, right? Assuming choices are just simple math. But the 2018 Ethiopian program really challenges that.
Yeah, they introduced that durable composting toilet.
Right. Priced between, I think, 10,000 and 12,000 birr. To put that in perspective, that represents a massive chunk of a rural family's annual income, sometimes equivalent to several months' wages.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's huge.
So naturally, stakeholders threw their hands up and said, no one can afford this. But the team didn't drop the price. They shifted the focus entirely to value, specifically dignity and convenience. And people started buying it.
They did.
To me, that proves the real barrier wasn't the price tag at all. It was whether the product actually resonated.
It's a great pivot. And look, the impact is definitely real. I hear you. But value doesn't print money.
Well,
The source material explicitly notes that when families started buying these toilets, the community hadn't suddenly become wealthier. That strict limit of their income is still a brick wall you can't just, market your way through.
but is it a brick wall?
Yes, value dictates how a family prioritizes their spending, absolutely. But if the cash genuinely isn't there, the purchase doesn't happen.
I see why you think that, but let's go back to that roof-mounted satellite dish for a moment.
Okay,
That dish often costs more than the 12,000 beer toilet. I look at that and think, the money was actually there all along. It really makes me question if the so-called affordability constraint is just an illusion, like a perceived value problem in disguise. How do you square that circle?
I don't see it as an illusion at all, actually. The satellite dish doesn't prove that affordability is irrelevant.
Then what does it prove?
It proves that limited funds force agonizing trade-offs. You're comparing highly visible entertainment, which brings immediate social status and daily joy,
Right?
to hidden household waste management. The psychological drivers are